Hey there, everybody. Tamer Shama here, RotoExperts.com, with your start sits at the running back position for Week 6. And the first start I have for you is Ryan Torain. He's going to be going up against the Indianapolis Colts at home. And Torain really has gotten a lot of negative press in fantasy football circles over the last few days, given his poor performance in Week 5. But you have to look at his situation, and given that situation, he's still a good running back option in fantasy football. And the main thing is that he is still getting the majority of the carries and looks to be getting the majority of the carries until Clinton Portis comes back from injury. There really isn't anybody threatening him on that roster right now to take away his carries. So with the fact that he's getting the majority of the carries, he looks like a good start in Week 6 against the Indianapolis Colts for a couple of reasons. The Colts' run defense is not very good. In 4 of their 5 games this year, they've allowed at least 110 rushing yards. And also, the Redskins, unlike last week, are going to need to run the ball in order to keep Peyton Manning off the field. You don't want to let Peyton Manning get into a rhythm with a lot of quick offensive possessions. So you want to keep him off the field. I think the Redskins are going to try to do that and allow Torain to get anywhere from 20 to 25 carries in this game. Even with a poor yards per carry average, that would still get him over 80, 90 yards in this game. He'll have a very good chance at a touchdown, given the fact that he is the goal line back. So he's a good running back 2 in moderate to deeper leagues this week, and also a good flex option in all leagues for Week 6. So the second start I have for you this week is kind of a weird one. It's Brandon Jacobs. He's going to be going up against the Lions at home. And if you're desperate for running back, and I caution if you're desperate for running back, Brandon Jacobs is a good option for you next week. He's starting to get involved in the Giant running game. He's had over 100 yards combined in his last 2 games, a touchdown in each of his last 2 games. So he's starting to get involved, and he's also getting goal line carries as well, which is very important for his fantasy value. So if you are desperate at running back, you can do worse than Brandon Jacobs. I look for him to get anywhere from 10 to 12 carries in Week 6, break the 50-yard mark, and also have a very good chance at a touchdown as well. The first sit I have for you for Week 6 at running back is Matt Forte, a big star in Week 5. He's going to be going up against the Seahawks at home in Week 6. And you have to look at the situation this upcoming week and how it differs from Week 5. Week 5, there was no Jay Cutler. He was going up against a poor run defense in Carolina. That allowed him to have a big game. This week, it looks like Jay Cutler is going to play, and he's actually going up against a very good run defense, a run defense that a lot of people don't know about, and that's the Seattle Seahawks run defense. They're allowing only 73 yards per game on the ground, only 2.7 yards per carry on the ground. So a very good run defense. I think with Cutler back and the fact that he's going up against a staunch run defense, that really hurts his value this week. I would really look to sit Forte in all leagues. If you're in a PPR league, you could use him at flex, but I really would caution to start somebody else if you do have a better option on the bench. The second sit I have for you is Jahvid Best. He's going to be going up against the Giants on the road. And Best is a little overhyped at this point based on his first 2 weeks. His first 2 weeks are very good. A couple of cheap touchdowns in Week 1, a great game against the Eagles in Week 2. But ever since he hurt his toe, got that turf toe injury early in the season, he really hasn't done much since then. And that's been over the last 3 weeks. Only yardage totals in those games, no touchdowns. The yardage totals haven't been great. So he has not been a great option for fantasy football owners, and I don't see him getting any better this week against the Giants. The Giants' run defense has been very good over the last couple of weeks, only 83 yards combined given up in their last 2 games against the Texans and the Bears. So their run defense has been playing well at this point, and I don't really see Best getting a lot of room to run in this game. Also, the Lions will most likely be trailing for a good portion of this game, which means they'll have to throw the ball, and that'll obviously take away from Best's chances to get carries. If you are in a PPR league, I would bump Best up to a flex option just because he does get involved in the passing game. If you're in a non-PPR league like Forte, I would really look to sit him in all leagues unless you're desperate at running back. He would be a better start than Brandon Jacobs if you want to match those 2 guys up for Week 6. If you need more help with your fantasy football team, keep it right here at RotoExperts.com. Also check out the exclusive Edge package, now available at a reduced price on RotoExperts.com. You can also follow us on Twitter, at RotoExperts is our Twitter handle, and you can follow me on Twitter. My Twitter handle is at RotoExperts_TC. Coming up in a few days, you'll be getting wide receiver start sits from Nate Piggott, as well as quarterback start sits. Until next week, I'm Tamer Shama.